Ladies and gentlemen, the University of the Commonwealth Caribbean is pleased to present for conferral the Honorable Dr. Peter Phillips, OJ, MP, for the degree Doctor of Economics, honoris causa, in recognition of his sterling contribution as one of the chief architects of Jamaica's fiscal reform, marked by prudent policy making, a commitment to inclusive development, and tireless efforts to stabilize the national economy and reduce public debt. Dr. Peter Phillips, I invite you to step forward. I now invite Mrs. Yvonne Bignall, UCC board member, and UCC's acting registrar, Mrs. Andrea Wanlis-Ling, to hood the candidate for the degree. I also invite Mr. Robert Scott, who will read the citation.
Some leaders plant trees under whose shade they will sit. Others cultivate forests for generations yet to walk beneath them. Dr. the Honorable Peter David Phillips, OJ, MP, has done both, tending Jamaica's economic garden with equal care for today's harvest and tomorrow's orchards. With hands shaped by academia, yet calloused by public service, Dr. Phillips spent over 3 decades planting seeds of transformation. As Minister of Health, he nurtured the saplings of national well-being. In transportation and works, he laid roots for infrastructure to flourish. At national security, he sheltered vulnerable shoots from storms of uncertainty. And as Minister of Finance and Planning, he cultivated a fertile soil for Jamaica's economic future. Dr. Phillips, scholar, legislator, and national policymaker, embodies steadfast dedication to good governance and social progress. Educated at Jamaica College, the University of the West Indies, and the State University of New York at Binghamton, where he earned a doctorate in political economy, Dr. Phillips began shaping young minds as a lecturer in the Faculty of Social Sciences at the University of the West Indies. Rigorous analysis defined his early public service when, in 1989, he entered the Senate and served as Minister of Special Projects in the office of the Prime Minister. Elected Member of Parliament for St. Andrew East Central in 1993, he not only continued his service as a Minister of Government, but also served as leader of government business in the House of Representatives, steering critical legislation between 1995 and 2006. His tenure as Minister of Finance and Planning from 2012 to 2016 proved transformative. By securing Jamaica's extended fund facility with the International Monetary Fund, he restored fiscal credibility, drove debt down, pushed inflation to its lowest level in 48 years, and lifted business and consumer confidence to record highs. For these achievements, the Gleaner named him Man of the Year in 2015 and later honored him with this award for public service. Invested with the Order of Jamaica in 2021, Dr. Phillips continues to shape national discourse on security, health, development, always advocating for Jamaica where opportunity is broadly shared. Therefore, the University of the Commonwealth Caribbean is pleased to confer the degree Doctor of Economics, honoris causa, on Dr. the Honorable Peter David Phillips, OJ, MP.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Chancellor will now confer the degree Doctor of Economics, honoris causa.
on the authority vested in me by the Board of Directors of the University of the Commonwealth Caribbean, I now confer upon you the degree Doctor of Economics Honoris Causa with all the rights and privileges appertaining thereto on this, the 20th day of July 2025. Congratulations.
Chancellor, Pro-Chancellor, Executive Chairman, President, members of the academic staff, fellow conferees, and to all the members of the graduating class 2025 of the UCC. If you will permit me, I will acknowledge that I consider myself a part of the 2025 graduating class, and we are joined at the hip. And we will be both moving into future careers as a consequence, at least for me, of this conferral. Please permit me, first of all, to express my deep appreciation for the honor, Chancellor, which you have conferred on me today. I accept in all humility, on behalf of all those who by their efforts and their sacrifices have over the past decade contributed to the change in Jamaica's fiscal trajectory and to the establishment of fiscal stability in this beloved country of ours. Above all, as I have said before, our greatest accomplishments as a nation have been the result of our collective efforts. While I may have had a central and coordinating role in the country's efforts to correct its fiscal imbalances, we should also recall the tremendous sacrifices made by the public sector workers who voluntarily endured wage freezes, and by the pensioners and other holders of Jamaican bonds who took haircuts, giving up interest income, and of course, the hundreds of thousands of taxpayers who endured major tax increases in order to restore credibility to their country's fiscal affairs. Equally deserving of accolades are the staff of the Ministry of Finance and Bank of Jamaica, as well as the members of Parliament and of the Cabinet, led by then Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller. On a personal level, we should never forget the families. And I would like to pay tribute to my wife Sandra and to my family and friends who offered me support and encouragement as we confronted the difficult decisions and tasks involved in staying the course at times when everything seemed impossible. It is, in my view, a testament to the political maturity of the country that subsequent political administrations have remained committed to fiscal prudence. Even so, despite this very real success, Jamaica and the Caribbean are facing real crisis. Recent shifts in the global trading system resulting from the blow delivered to the multilateral trading arrangements, which have raised effective tariff rates and reduced the growth prospects of the world economy, have had a negative impact on us. When considered alongside the generalized assaults on multilateralism in general, as embodied by the United Nations and its affiliated institutions, as well as in the decline in the resources available for so-called development assistance from the major powers, it is clear that notions of a global development agenda, which took root after World War II, have been severely curtailed, if not extinguished entirely. To put it plainly, Jamaica is facing today the most hostile international environment that we have faced since independence. And to compound the challenges that this entails, we have not experienced any level of significant economic growth despite the consolidation of our fiscal stability. Not to mention either the very profound technological changes which were outlined by Pro-Chancellor Anthony Clayton a while ago, which are going to have a very profound effect on our lives here in the Caribbean. Recent IMF analysis finds that, and I quote, most Caribbean economies had slower growth over the last 2 decades as compared to previous decades. Furthermore, and unfortunately, in Jamaica's case, there has been no appreciable growth over the past 5 decades as compared with the phenomenal growth levels of 5 and 6% per annum that was experienced in the 1950s and 1960s in Jamaica. In this context, the very survival of the Caribbean dream of successful independent nationhood, nurtured by the founding fathers and mothers of our nation, is in danger. Slow growth or no growth hinders the improvement of living standards of our people and stifles their aspirations. It casts doubt on the efficacy of our national institutions, including the governance institutions, and ultimately will bring into question, if it is allowed to persist, the viability of nationhood itself. We are indeed facing, in my view, a national emergency. We need to mobilize all our resources as a people to confront it. This goes beyond any political division or social division that we may have. We must marshal our best and most experienced intellectual and managerial resources and combine them and work together in some unified entity on a national growth plan, and then systematically implement it and monitor its progress through some epoch-like entity that will guarantee that no future generations will have to face this crisis. I am hopeful because I know that as a people we are resourceful, innovative, and determined, and when we come together, nothing can stop us. And also I am hopeful because we have experience in working together to reduce the public debt. And we have shown that we can achieve common cause in the national good when it matters. And I am confident too that leading in this process will be the graduating class of 2025. God bless you all as we move to the bright future which we deserve.